Hi everybody, this is Storm the Albatross, and today I will be reading you all Chapter 19 of the Berenstain Bears and Left 4 Dead crossover fanfiction written by the Shadow Lioness. Thank you very much for giving us permission to read your story, Shadow Lioness. Now, Judd actually assigned me to read this chapter because initially he thought I think it'd be appropriate if I read chapter 19 and Wave read chapter 18. Both Judd and Wave read the first two chapters, the chapters 17 and 18, and they said I like it, so I might as well say that in order to find that true, I might as well give this chapter a read. Now, without further ado, let's get reading. The group prepared themselves as they stood foot out of the safe house. There were wandering zombies, but they didn't notice them yet. So the survivors shot down the wandering infected before they moved on. They climbed onto the train cart and they walked till they were on a ledge where there was a farmhouse through the crops. "What's that?" Fred asked. "That must be a farmhouse. Lizzie should be in there," Francis replied. "And Witter Jones, too. I just can't wait to get her on my frickin' hands so she can answer to us on why she took you guys from the bear country," Bill said. We're gonna have to go through this cornfield, and we'll have to be quick if we don't want to alert the horde. If those crows make a sound, when we would end up having a horde of infected chasing us," Lewis said. "We'll go in there and save Lizzie. Then we'll call for a rescue vehicle, and we'll take care of Witter Jones, that witch," Zoe said as she found a wine on the ground. "A bottle of wine? I guess Witter Jones must be drinking so much that she is very drunk and doesn't know what she is doing." Yeah, I think that's true. But anyway, that must be what caused Witter Jones to go nuts, Mama replied. The group got down and walked through the cornfield when the crows made a lot of noise that caused the infected to attack the group from all places. The group was able to fight off the huge horde, and as soon as the horde was down, they were able to get out of the cornfield. "We're sure out of here," Bill said, as Zoe looked inside the farmhouse by opening the door, having her gun ready. She walked upstairs to check the rooms. The bedroom she opened first had Lizzie inside. She was tied up, and a blanket was over her. "That's Lizzie," Sister said, as Zoe freed Lizzie from being held captive. "Boy, I'm sure glad to see that you're okay, Sister." "Who's this older woman?" Lizzie asked. "This is Zoe. She is a group with my other friends," Sister explained. Once the group were all in a farmhouse after Lizzie was saved, it was time that Bill called everyone for a meeting. "Now since Witter Jones may plan to attack us, while we can't call for help, while we call for a rescue truck, so we're going to do our best to fight her. She may be trying to trick us with her spells, so we better be careful of that," Bill said. "There's a barn not far from here that someone could check out," Francis suggested. "Me, Lizzie, and Sister will check it out. But first we'll have to alert the people on the radio that we're alive and needed to be rescued," Zoe said. As she walked to the radio. "Hello?" she said. "Hello? I can't believe we've got more people still alive out there." "We hear you loud and clear, Survivor," the man on the radio said. "We've got 2 adult bears and 4 cubs. They'll be coming with us," Zoe replied. "All right, be sure you're preparing yourselves, as the hordes of infected will be on your tails until I get there," after the radio man replied to Zoe. Everyone prepare themselves. Zoe took Sister and Lizzie as they walked out of the farmhouse to check on the barn. Bill radioed the man back to tell them that they're ready. "I'll be there in 15 minutes, so hold out for a little while until I get there," he replied as the voice of Zoe was heard. "Bill, I can't find Sister," Zoe said at the door. Everyone was confused as there were more copies of Zoe surrounding the ground until the real appearance of Witter Jones, that witch. Was Witter Jones a witch? You're really a pain in my butt, aren't you all? Well, it's time you really see how deadly we all can be. Witter Jones sent her horde of zombies, as well as the witch, Hunter, Smoker, and Boomer, to attack the group, stay together, and fought down the groups of infected. Those copies of Zoe are not real. That witch is messing with us, Francis said. The real Zoe is at the barn, Lewis said, as Witter Jones knocked him to the ground. You guys ticked me off long enough. Now you will pay. Oh, wait a sec. Where is Zoe? I want to surprise her. Witter Jones escaped the farmhouse as Zoe was holding off the horde with Lizzie and Sister. A voice that Zoe thought to be someone she knew was being heard. Hello, Zoe. Witter Jones is attacking the farmhouse, Bill said as Zoe turned around. Bill, wait. I thought you were in the house, Zoe said as the tank appeared and attacked Zoe from behind. Luckily enough, Zoe was able to dodge the tank as she started to fight the tank back. Then, when the tank was dead, Witter Jones revealed herself from a form of Bill. I knew it was you, Zoe growled. Of course you would find out that Bill wasn't really him. I took a form of you and pranked the group. At least I can finish you here once and for all, Witter Jones said, as she took a form of an angry witch and slashed Zoe to knock her down to the ground. She was bleeding. I'll leave you to die here, unless your friends come to save the day. Witter Jones ran away. And this is where I will stop for part 1. Stay tuned for part 2 of Storm the Albatross reads Chapter 19 of the Berenstain Bears Left 4 Dead crossover fanfiction.